Okay, so thanks again for joining. I hope that Fabian is going to join again soon. Again, I'm going to check what's happening with the account because it's weird. It should be with the, well, with the pro account that is going to let me, or I have the meeting with the long that I want, but I'm going to check what happened. But let's continue, please. I'm going to actually to ask you once again, David, to continue reading with this slide over here, please.
Okay, teacher. To write a sentence in the present perfect, you need to use have, has in the past participle of the verb. Have, I, we, you, they. Has, he, she, it. Past participle, I think there are some examples. Eat, ate, eaten. Go, went, gone. Give, gave, and given. Write, wrote, and written.
Thank you very much, David. Good. So this is just a reminder, right? I know that you know, but you also still have some mistakes, so you need to reinforce this. So again, remember that if you are using you, I, we, you, they, you have to conjugate that with have, right? I have, we have, you have, they have. And then you need what? The past participle. So you need the last conjugation. I have eaten, I have gone, you have given, they have written. But if you have the third person, he, she, it, you need has. And again, the past participle, right? She has eaten, he has gone, it has given, and Peter has written. And that's it, okay? Again, this is something that you know, but it's important to reinforce so that you have that for sure over there and you don't forget about these specific rules for writing in the present perfect. Now, here is where we're going to write the examples, please. You already have access to the file, to the link. Please, if you lost it, I'm going to send the link once again. Okay, good. So the link is in the chat once again, guys. Jose, David, and Fabiana. This is going to be the instruction. You know these things already, so this is review. This is not new. But anyhow, we are learning everything, right, from the very bottom. Here you have formulas for affirmative, for negative, right, and for questions, two types of questions. For yes, no questions, have you gone there? Yes, I have. No, I haven't. And WH questions. What have you done there? I don't know, right? I have played poker. That's it. So we have four possible structures, all right? Affirmative, have, has, plus the past participle, I have given, give before. Negative with not, I haven't or she hasn't, right? Plus past participle, I haven't given a gift before. Yes, no question. Have you given a gift before? Yes, I have. No, I haven't. What have you given before? A gift. Or I have given a gift. Okay, I read that for you because now you need to write four examples. All right, Jose, David, and Fabiana. Let's go to the file, please. Let's go to the Google Docs file and write four examples. One in the affirmative form, the second one in the negative form, the third one is a yes/no question, and the last one, the fourth one, is going to be a WH question. Okay, so once again, for example, one affirmative, the other one negative, the next one a yes/no question, and the last one a WH question. All right, all of them in the present perfect, please, following these formulas. All right, so let's work on that, please. If you have any questions, you can let me know. If not, we're going to have 3 to 4 minutes to finish this, and then we'll start checking. Okay, let's do it, please.
And teacher, I have a question. Sorry.
Yes, tell me, Fabian. Yes, go ahead.
I I don't understand why in this tense we use in questions we use the past participle and don't use an auxiliary and the verb in the base form. There are explanation or it's something of grammatic.
Yes, actually, there's a very short explanation, Fabiana. Sorry. The only time that we're going to use that logic, Fabiana, with the base form in the tenses, all right, with present, past, future, is with the simple tenses, the simple present and the simple past, all right? Those auxiliaries, the auxiliaries do and did, are the only ones who are going to make you use the base form of your verb, all right? But I'm talking about the structures because it happens the same with will. If you have will in simple future, actually that's the simple future with will, you need the base verb, right? So do, if you have I don't, you have do in your sentence, you need the base verb. If you have did in your sentence, I didn't, then the main verb is in the base verb. If you have will in your sentence, affirmative, negative, or question, you need the base verb in your sentence, all right? So in the simple forms, in the simple tenses, you're going to apply that rule, Fabian. And again, it's mainly with do, with did. And you have other models. Will is a model, okay? So with do, with did, and with models like will, would, can, should, you're going to apply the rules of the base form, all right? But with the other auxiliaries, like for example, one auxiliary can be the verb to be, right? With the verb to be, you don't use the base form, you use the ing. I am going, I am playing, she is reading, all right? So with the verb to be, you use the auxiliary with ing in affirmative, in negative, and in questions. With the auxiliary have and has, it's the same. You always use the past participle, okay? You never change that to the base form because it is going to be incorrect, all right? So with the auxiliaries have and has, always the past participle in affirmative, in negative, and in questions, all right? Because that's the rule for those ones. And it happens the same with the past perfect that we are going to check later on. The past perfect is with had, okay? H-A-D. I had gone, she had given, and it's the same in affirmative, negative, and in questions. It's always going to be with the past participle, and that's the rule for the perfect tenses, okay? All the perfect tenses, the present perfect, the past perfect, the future perfect, the modal perfect, okay? You have a lot of perfect tenses. All of the perfect tenses are always going to use the past participle in all of the forms, affirmative, negative, and questions, all right? I expanded the answer a lot, but it's important to know that, Fabiana. Do you have any questions about that?
No, now it's more clear. Thank you, teacher.
Okay, that's good, Fabiana. Great. So again, keep working. I know that perhaps some of you have already done that, but I'm going to give you a couple of minutes. Try to write that, try to check if it's correct. Try to use expressions like the expressions I was giving you, Jose, David, and Fabiana. Remember, not a specific time expressions, but unspecific, indefinite time expressions like before, or like number of times, 3 times, twice, once, 4 times, many times, or periods of time, right? For 5 years, for 3 days, for 2 hours, okay? Try to add those time expressions, and I'm going to let you know if it's correct, all right? In the second minute, I'm going to start checking, please.
I'm finished.
Okay, good. Let me continue with that. I'm going to check yours, please, then, Jose.
Okay.
Let's start reading, please, your examples.
Okay. We have gone to Miami just one time. They haven't eaten meat for 1 year. Have you wrote a letter? I think this is wrong, right?
Yes, instead of written, remember it's going to be with I, written. Okay, that
Written.
O changes to I. Correct? Very good. What are the possible answers to this question, Jose? Have you written a letter? There are two possible questions, right? Yes, no questions. What are those two possible questions? Or sorry, two possible answers?
Yes, I have. And
Correct?
yes, I did.
No, it's okay. The first one, it's okay. But remember, if we don't have did, we cannot use did. Yes, I have. No, I haven't. Right? Affirmative, negative. Yes, I have. And no, I haven't. Good. And read the last one, please, also, Jose.
When they have gone to the cinema.
Good. In this one, the only thing I'm going to change is the order. Remember, we have to use question order. And in question order, if we check this one, first WH, then have or has, then the subject, and then the past participle. So the only change that you need to make here, Jose, it's going to be...
When have they?
Correct. When have they gone to the cinema? Now, here we have something important. Your question is okay. The idea it's okay, but this is my question for you, Jose. Is it okay to ask a specific question like when in the present perfect, when the present perfect is indefinite and we cannot use specific time expressions? What do you say? Right? So the question is okay, the structure is okay, but we are not going to ask questions with when because we cannot give answers with when in the past, sorry, in the present perfect. You will need to change this to did, but we're not going to do that, all right? I'm just showing the possibilities. You can say, when did they go to the cinema? And that's correct, all right? When did they go to the cinema? But as we are not working with the simple present, what other question can you ask for this example that you have, Jose? What question can you ask to know about the period of time or number of times that it happened? What do you say?
How many times have they gone to the cinema?
Good, exactly. And that's a correct example in the present perfect. Okay, good. How many times have they gone to the cinema? And you're going to say, they've gone to the cinema 5 times, 10 times, right? 10,000 times. Good, very good. And only one more thing. One time it's okay, but there's one more natural way of saying one time in English, and it's only one word.
Once?
Once, correct. And it's way better. Okay, very good. That's great. Okay, that's very good, Jose. Do you have any questions about the present perfect? Do you understand more or less the difference with the simple past and when to use it?
Yes.
That's good. Thank you, Jose. Again, I have no more observations. I think your examples are very good. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Great. So I'm going to continue with you, David. I see your examples over there. Let's read them, please, and we're going to check.
Okay. I have eaten pizza many times. We haven't gone to the market last month. Has she done her homework before? And what have they bought at the market?
Thank you very much, David. I think everything is very good again. There's only one little mistake, all right? One little, and it's the time expression of the second example. Remember that last month is specific. It's definite, because if I ask the question when, it's possible to answer, right? But when we use the present perfect, it's not correct to use a specific time expressions. They have to be in a specific. If it's negative, my advice is to use the word yet. Okay, yet is a very good word in the present perfect for negative sentences. Exactly. We haven't gone to the market yet. Not yet, but we're going to do it in a while, right? That's the idea of the present perfect. Something that hasn't happened yet, but of course is going to happen in a very near future, or perhaps it happened a little bit before. All right, that's it. I think I don't have any more observations because your expressions are correct and the order of your words as well. Do you have any questions about this structure and these formulas, David? Let me know, please.
No, teacher.
Okay, thank you very much. And I'm finally going to finish with you, Fabiana. Let's read your examples, please.
Okay, teacher. 1. I have written a beautiful book for 2 years. 2. She has not eaten fast food last week. And 3. What have we eaten for dinner this month? We have eaten salad all this time.
Thank you very much. There's only missing one, right? One yes/no question, and it's okay. I only have one observation, and it's the same that I had for David. Remember, at first, only pronunciation. Remember that when you have double T, that I is going to change to E, right? So I have written, okay? Instead of written, written. That's the first one. The other one, remember that we don't use specific time expressions in the present perfect. Last week is good for simple past, but it's not good for present perfect, unless you use since, okay? And that's something I didn't say to David. You can use last week, you can use ago, you can use specific time expressions, specific, when they are not the specific time that it happened, but it was the starting point of a period of time, but actually you don't know when it finished. And that's why it's indefinite. So there are two options, and you can take this into account also, David. You can add since before last week, and it's correct, because that's not a specific time when it happened. That's only the starting point. And you can say, she has not eaten fast food since last week. Do we know if she started eating after that? We don't know. Do we know when this action finished? The fact that she has not been eating? We don't know. That's why it is unspecific, all right? But only if you use since, all right? Because it marks a starting point when something happened, but we don't know when it finished, all right? That's why we consider that indefinite and unspecific. Okay, the other option, Fabiana, is that you delete since last week, and you can change that to yet. She has not eaten fast food yet. That's also a valid form, a valid expression for negative. Okay, that's it. I don't know if you have any questions about that, David, perhaps, and also Fabiana, about the idea of since. If you have, let me know, please.
No, teacher.
No? All right. Thank you very much. And again, only one question is missing for you, Fabiana, but you can work on that later on. It's the yes/no questions, right? Have you gone to this place? Has she written that? Has she read that? And the question, sorry, and the answers are always going to be yes, I have, no, I haven't, yes, she has, no, she hasn't. All right, and that's it. We're going to check that in the next set of examples. That's great. Now, I'm going back here, and we're going to take a look at something very important. And this is what I was telling you, David and Fabiana, and also you can take this into account, Jose. The expressions. Since, I'm going to mark this one. These are two very, very important expressions. Okay? And you can use these expressions also for the present perfect continuous, all right? These are the perfect expressions for the present perfect continuous. But for the present perfect, you can also use them, and actually all of them. You have before, I told you, it happened, we don't know when. It's perfect for the present perfect. Once, we don't know when. It happened once. Twice, right? Once is one time. Twice is two times, all right? We don't say that much one time, two times, no. It's better to say once or twice. Then more than two, it's always going to be 3, 4, 5, and times, right? 5 times, 20 times, 1,000 times, etc. No time expressions, that's an option. With the simple past, it's advisable to use a time expression, all right? Like, I went to the movies. When? Yesterday, okay? That's a complete sentence with the simple past. But with the present perfect, you don't need a time expression. It's okay, sorry, if you don't use time expressions. Like, I have gone to the movies. When? I don't care. If I use my sentence with the present perfect, I don't care when it happens. Or I don't know, and I don't want to mention. And that's why I use the present perfect. The other options, for period of time, right? I have, whatever you want. I have studied for that test, right? For 3 weeks. That's good. Since a starting period of time, since January is specific, but it's not a specific time that it happens. It's not the specific time that it finished. It's the starting period of time. Okay, that's why we use it with the present perfect. So I have, I don't know, right? I have worked there since last year. We don't know if he or she still works over there. We don't know if that finished. We only know when it started. Okay, it's a little bit tricky, but it's the only specific period of time that you use when it's the starting point. All right, that's very important to know. And finally, you use already with affirmative sentences in the middle of your 2 words. I have already done my homework. Okay, I have already done my homework. When it's for sure that it happened and you are reinforcing that idea that it happened. Yet, it's something that hasn't happened yet, all right? But it is going to happen soon. So I haven't studied for my test yet, but I'm going to do it in a couple of hours. All right, until that part, just and never are going to be for later on. But I really want you to work with examples with these ones. All right, so please let me know first if you have any questions about these words. Before is in a specific time. Once, twice, 3 times, it's just for a number of times. How many times something happened, but we don't know when. No time expression, we're not going to work with that one because it's obvious. And periods of time, for 2 days, for 3 hours, a starting period of time, since 1984, since January, since last week, a starting period of time, but we don't know when it finished or if it finished, all right? Already for affirmative sentences, I have already done my homework, I have already seen that movie, I have already eaten that dish. And yet for negative, right? I haven't done that yet, she hasn't gone to that party yet, etc. Do you have any questions about these expressions? Let me know, please, because we're going to work with some examples. No? All right. So please, this is what we're going to do. I'm going to choose some of them because I believe it's important that you understand how to use them. All of you, please, Jose, David, and Fabiana, you're going to write one example twice, okay? You're going to write another example with for, the third example with since, and finally, you're going to only write one with already, okay? So 4 examples in total, please, Jose, David, and Fabiana. One with twice, the other one with for, with since, and the last one with already. All right, do you have any questions? Let me know, please. Jose, tell me.
No, I just say, okay.
Okay, good, very good. So let's work on that, please. I think a couple of minutes or 3 is going to be enough, and we'll start checking. All right, let's do it, please. I'm going to mark the words again. So twice, right, for, since, already. Remember that already is a special. Already, it can be at the end sometimes, all right? But most of the cases, it's going to be in between the auxiliary, have, has, and the main verb in the past participle. Have already gone, has already eaten, all right, have already traveled, etc. All right, so I leave you work on that. All right, so we're going to start checking, all right, what you've been doing. Let's remember we need examples with twice, it's number of times, for period of time, since a starting point, right, for a period of time, and already for affirmative ideas. Most of the cases we have that in between the auxiliary and the main verb, all right? So with that review, let's try to check what you got. I'm going to start with you once again, Jose, please. Let's read your examples.
Okay, he has played soccer twice this week. We have gone to Shorty's for 5 hours yesterday. I haven't visited my grandma since April. I have already eaten my dinner.
Thank you very much, Jose. Only one little detail. It's okay if you say for 5 hours, correct? But if you say yesterday, it is definite. And this sentence, if you realize this one, they are going to ask you to use the simple past, right? So don't use yesterday. You can say they have gone, right, to Shorty's for 5 hours, and that's going to be enough. All right, good. They still want you to change that, but now it's correct. Good. And since April, very good, and already eaten in between those ones. That is great, Jose. I have no more observations. Do you have any questions about these examples? Let me know, please.
No, I haven't.
Okay, thank you very much. Great. And I'm going with you 10 minutes again. Okay, I think we're going to finish, but please, if we are not finished yet and the meeting is over, we're going to join again, please. Again, I don't know why we have this limit of 40 minutes. It shouldn't be, all right? But again, please, if the meeting is over and we haven't already filled out the surveys, all right, we're going to be back, please, all right? Just in case we haven't finished. Please, Fabiana, let's read your examples now.
Okay, teacher. One, I have taken this hard test twice. Two, Michael has been alone for 7 hours. 3, we have sung in the theater since March. And 4, she has cooked these blue cupcakes already.
Thank you very much, Fabiana. Great. As I told you, it is possible to use it in the last part of your sentence, all right? What is the difference? Actually, there's not going to be a big of a difference. When you use it at the beginning, all right, you are giving like that information. And you say, for example, I'm not going to go, you know, I already seen that movie twice. So I'm not going to go, all right? So you're telling someone that you already done, all right? You've already done that action. But if you use it at the end, you're answering someone something specific, all right? And you say something like, let me see, she has cooked these blue cupcakes already, okay? So she or someone is going to ask, right? Hey, what about the cupcakes? Are they done? Are they ready? And someone can ask you, yes, she has cooked these blue cupcakes, already. It means that it already happened even before than you were expecting, all right? So again, that's the difference. When you use it in the middle of the two ideas, it's something that you're saying, all right? To say someone that you did that before. But if you use it at the end, it's something that happened before it was expected to happen, all right? Little by little, we're going to go to those details, but it's good. I have no observations over here. Fabiana, do you have any questions about those expressions? Let me know, please.
Teacher, maybe the use of already when I start a sentence.
Okay, yes, when you start that in a sentence is when you are telling someone in a certain way that you have already done that. Okay, that for example, someone tells you, right? Hey, let's watch that movie. And you say, hey, I'm sorry, all right, I have already watched that movie, all right? You say that you already did that action, all right? But in a situation, again, when someone is expecting, and it's really expecting you to do something else, you can use it at the end, all right? So again, when you use it at the beginning, between has and cooked, it's to inform that you already have, or that you have already done that action, all right? To inform that you did it before. And when you use it at the end, is to show something that is not going with your expectations, like that one, right? The example, hey, what about the cupcakes, right? Are they all ready? Okay, are they ready to eat? And someone is going to say, yes, she has already cooked those cupcakes, all right? Or she has cooked those cupcakes already. And when it's at the end, again, it's going contrary to the expectations, all right? So again, it's very subtle. You can use it in both cases and it's going to be actually kind of the same. Grammatically is going to be correct. But again, shortly, and to finish this one, this is short explanation, all right? I'm trying to make it short. At the beginning, in between the auxiliary and the verb, when you are informing that something already happened, that you did something, that's something before, and at the end, when you are going contrary to the expectations, all right, of someone in a more clear way, all right? And that would be it. It's only happening with already, and it's a specific, if you really want to use in the correct way. That's it. I don't know if you have any more questions, Fabiana, or anybody else.
Sorry, teacher, I have one more question.
Yes.
Grammatically, I can say already I have gone to the park, or it's correct, I have already gone to the park?
Actually, in grammar, they are not going to let you use already at the beginning. All right, that would be incorrect. You only have two options there. It's at the beginning, but when I say at the beginning, Fabiana, it's not at the beginning of the sentence. It's in between this subject, this auxiliary and the verb. All right, here is at the beginning already. All right, so those are the two options. At the beginning, I mean in the first part with the auxiliary and the verb, and in the last part after your sentence, or only those two possible options, all right? Because if you say already and then your sentence, that's going to be incorrect. All right. And one more time, if you said one more time your example, but this time using it here and here, I'm going to help you out, Fabiana. Can you accommodate that word over there now? Let's do it, please.
In this example, she has already cooked these blue cupcakes.
Oh, with the example you were telling me before.
Oh,
Do you
okay.
remember?
I have already gone to the park.
Exactly. So when to use it, when to say I have already gone to the park and I have gone to the park already, both are correct. Okay, both are correct. Like in this case, she has already cooked these blue cupcakes, or she has cooked these blue cupcakes already. Again, in the first part, when it's in between these ones, it's correct, and it's when you want to inform someone that you did that before. All right, just to inform. And when it's at the end, it's because you are like breaking some expectations that that person has, and that person may say, I think that you're not going to go to the park today, right? And you may say, I have gone to the park already. And when you use that in the last part, you are going against the expectations for that person. All right, that's going to be again the main difference. The first part is for informing, and the last part is to go contrary to someone else's expectations. All right?
Yes. Thank you, teacher. It's more clear.
Okay, thank you very much, Fabiana. And again, those are little details that you little by little are going to be covering. It's not important to make that difference. It's very subtle, but you know that you have those two options. So I'm going to delete this one over here because you already have that at the end. Good. And that's it. And sorry, I didn't check yours. David, let's read yours to finish with today's class, please.
Okay, teacher. I have gone to the park twice a week. She has driven for 8 hours in order to reach home. He has gone to Paris since June, and I have already made a dinner.
Okay, thank you very much, David. So again, only one question. This one, you know, it's going to be capital letter, but one question over here. This sentence is going to be correct, and it's correct, but only if you follow one logic. And I don't know if that's the logic that you're following in this one, David. When you say she has gone to Paris since June, what do you mean there? Do you mean that this is an action that happened once, or this is a repeated action that started in June? What do you mean there? What do you say?
I think that's an action that is continuously it's a continuous action, I think, because she's living there.
Okay, very good. Yes. So I imagine that more than living, we wouldn't say that she's living in Paris because she's going to Paris, all right, in a repeated way. I would say that perhaps this person lives in another city in France and is going to Paris every week, every weekend, I don't know, after 2 days, something like that, because of work, okay? With this sentence, we understand that this is a person that lives somewhere else, but is going to Paris with frequency because of work, because of studies, because of a certain